In this video we're going to cover our first type of simple reactions, and this is going to be a synthesis reaction. These reactions are also sometimes called combination reactions, and the way that we'll recognize them is that we have one element plus another element as my reactants. So when we see two elements coming together, we're thinking synthesis, and it'll follow the general format of A plus B will give me those two put together, AB. And the formula of AB will be dictated by their respective charges of the periodic table. So if I look at a simple example, let's say I have sodium plus chlorine. And it should be important to note that chlorine is Cl2 because it's diatomic. Will give me sodium chloride, NaCl. And NaCl, you notice that the 2 is not carried over from the chlorine here to the chlorine in the product because this formula right here is determined by the charges. As a quick reminder of how that's determined, sodium is in group 1 of the periodic table, so it has a charge of +1. Chlorine is in group 17, so it has a charge of -1. So we just need one of each to make it neutral. So once again, the common mistake here is that you want to take this 2 and move it over here to the product, but that's not correct. It's just NaCl as written. So if we look at another example of a synthesis or combination reaction, we could have something like aluminum plus oxygen. And once again, oxygen is diatomic, so it's written as O2. Will give me just those two elements together, Al and O together. Now the formula of aluminum oxide is determined by their charges. So I look at aluminum on the periodic table and its charge is +3. Oxygen's charge is -2. So when we cross and drop these charges to make it neutral, my formula is Al2O3. So the correct answer up here needs to be Al2O3. And we'll look at one final example of a synthesis or combination reaction. Let's say we have something like lithium plus nitrogen. And nitrogen is also N2 because it's diatomic. Will give me Li and N together. I look to their charges in the periodic table to determine the formula over here. Lithium has a charge of +1. Nitrogen has a charge of -3. So when we cross and drop our charges, I get Li3 and 1, which I don't write in. So this 2 does not get carried over to the product. The correct formula for my product is Li3N, and this is the correct answer. Alright, that's my first reaction type. Once again, it's called a synthesis or combination reaction, and the way that I'm going to recognize it is that I have an element plus an element coming together. Whenever I see two elements as my reactants, I'm thinking synthesis.